Morning. Today I'm building a current limiter, and if you want to see what that looks like, hang around and I'll show you one. You can watch me kind of finish it up. It really isn't a big deal. If you got this stuff, you can throw one together in like 5 minutes. So hang around. That's what I'm doing today. So what we've got here, got a regular 120 15 amp outlet. I have a switch and an outlet, and I want you to notice that I did break the common connector right here. We don't want them both powered up, so I broke the common connector. I want the outlet controlled by the switch. So you can see, to do that, you bring your power in here, you break this connector off, you bring your power in here, out of here, into here, because this is your hot side, remember, and this is your neutral side. And then you can take out of here with your black wire. You're going to basically, and then you will use an incandescent light bulb. See this little, and this is polarized. You got a wide spade and a narrow spade. And what you do, you basically wire an incandescent bulb. The higher wattage, the better. You're using it like a fuse. And you say, wow, well, what does that do? Does that blow the bulb every time you get a short? No, it does not. It's there are some speaker cabinets now that have light bulbs in them. So that if they're overpowered, rather than blow the speaker, it goes to the light bulb, and it dampens the power going to the circuit. You'll see how it works, and I don't know how to explain the laws, why it goes to the bulb instead of to the piece of electrical gear you're working on. It's one of those weird laws. I don't know them all. So, but like I say, we're going to have this wired together in a second. So just hang around, pay attention. Boy, my hair looks pretty rough today, doesn't it? Well, I rode with the windows down up here. You don't, where I live, if you want to ride with windows down, it's got to be like between daylight and 10 in the morning. Or you could say midnight and 10 in the morning, because it finally does get cool about midnight. And usually we can get, the way it's been running, get down to about 70 at midnight, and then it stays about right there until it doesn't, about 10 o'clock. You know, it's like 85. By noon, it's getting up there to 90. But yes, I'm having the windows down when I have the opportunity. Let's throw this thing together. I'm also going to have this little voltage meter in. This isn't something I think of. Old guys that work on amps have been using these for years. And there are several guys on YouTube that show themselves making them. So really, it's no big deal. What you got to do is just remember that your black wire coming from your power supply is used just like a fuse. You run it into the switch, then you come out of the switch with a jumper to the receptacle on the narrow side, the gold side, and then you come from the other side of your switch to this receptacle, which is just a regular receptacle. And through it, and then on the other side of it, hook your white to just finish the circuit. And of course, hook up all your grounds. I'm going to be using a metal grounding box, so obviously we'll have to, a metal junction box and or utility box, and you're gonna have to ground this too. Obviously, you would want to ground it. All right, let's throw this thing together. You too that whenever you're using AWG, which is stranded wire, I always tin the ends so they're like solid, and that way you can bend like a good hook in them to put on the screws for these. So that's a good idea to always do that. See if I can run that any deeper. That's pretty deep. And have y'all ever seen these? They are they got a cool ratchet system that ratchets down on whatever size cable you're using. And I didn't think they'd clamp down on this skinny supply wire I'm using, but man, they did. It did. And gives you a little, and I mean, when you clamp down on it, it is there. I have been needing one of these for a long time, and I don't know why you don't do it. It's just one of those. I'm gonna tell you what kept me, look me in the eye, I'm gonna tell you what kept me from doing it. I didn't have any big incandescent bulbs, and for 3 years I've been putting off building one. Now, ain't that a silly reason? So I got a 250 watt incandescent bulb. Finally remembered, ordered one. It came. Now we're putting this together. That's the only excuse I have.
As I sit here tonight, sure don't feel like no home. Something just don't feel right. How could you leave me all alone? Feels like the world is closing in. What am I supposed to do? Will I ever see an end to this misery of missing you? Won't you tell me why? 'Cause I just don't know. Why'd you have to leave and hurt me so? Was it wrong from the start? Or did someone else just steal your heart? think I hear the sound. Someone knocked at my door. Raise my head and look around. There stands the girl I'm waiting for. Well, I jumped up to let her in. That must have woke me from my dream. There I was all alone again. But oh, how real she seemed. Won't you tell me why? 'Cause I just don't know. Why'd you have to leave? Hurt me so. Was it wrong from the start? Or did someone else just steal your heart? Was it wrong from the start? Or did someone else just steal your heart?
Okay, really? Really? Flathead screws? Who does flathead screws anymore? Should be those. Run with the square bit, but I know these are for the cover. So that's why. But it's still stupid. Still stupid. All right, you say, wow, that was too simple. Well, we're not done yet. Put in our light socket, and like I say, it does have polarity. There is a wide spade and a narrow spade. So what's this? Well, this is a voltage meter, and we are going to put it, let me see what side this up. Okay, that side is up, so we're going to put it right there. And that's on, that's off, I'm guessing. Yes. All right. So let's do this. Let's see if we have any continuity. I got it back. All right, let's see if we got continuity. Really, all we have to check is from here to here, and it won't have it without the bulb in there. Remember, the way we ran it, just the black from the switch, through the switch to this outlet. So here's what we can do. We can turn the switch on. We can run from here to here. That's good. And obviously if that's good, all the rest of that'll be good. Now these won't light up until something's plugged in. You see how this works? You're continuing the circuit. So I'm gonna plug this back in there. I believe we're ready to go. We have a plug-in right behind you. So let me hook in our voltage meter. And we will point it your way. What's our voltage say? 123, 122. Pretty good. Now I want you to watch what happens when I pull the bulb out of the circuit. You see that? So our power is running through the light bulb. And you say, well, why is the light bulb not on? I don't know. Bernoulli's principle or something? I don't know. Don't ask me. Okay, I'm going to show you how this works. We got 122 volts going through, right? I have a cord that I have stripped. Now, you know what happens when generally you allow contact between 120 volt direct short, how sparks fly and you get a loud pop and things melt and catch on fire? If you have it running through this current limiter, here's what happens when you have a direct short in 110. Isn't that much nicer than a big pop and things melting? And that's the way it works. That's a current limiter. And this bulb soaks up the power from the direct short so that things don't start melting down and blowing up. I'm going to shut this off. Make sure all power drains out of that voltage meter, because you can still get shocked by that thing if it's got capacitors in it, and I'm quite certain it does. Now let's remove our direct short. And that's the way a current limiter works, and guys use them on when we're working on amplifiers and old amplifiers and radios and vintage electrical gear that hasn't been plugged in years. And the real reason I made one today is because I was gifted a tube tester, and the tube tester looks to be in really good shape, but it's old. So I haven't opened it up, but I know it's going to have leaky capacitors in it because of its age. Before I do anything, I'm going to just plug it up, and I'm going to use my newly manufactured current limiter, and I am going to turn this around. By the way, I want the power coming in from the top, not the bottom. So I'm just going to turn this lid around. But I just wanted to be able to, because those old tube testers are getting rare today, and I didn't want to plug it in and have something short out and, you know, do something I'd regret. So get into that tube checker and see if anything needs to be replaced before I start checking tubes. Because whenever I replace tubes for somebody, if they don't want the old tubes, I hang on to them. Generally, if I find a bad tube, I recommend they replace them all. And if they don't want the old ones, I keep the old ones. I try to get them to keep their old ones, but some people are like, nah, it's only 90 bucks. So I ain't never been that way. So now that I have my current limiter, I can go ahead and check that tube checker so I can check my tubes. And I guess that's all we got today. You'd be amazed the heat that comes up. I have forgotten a 250 watt bulb, just how hot they get. And I'm telling you, that dude, when it soaks up that power, it puts out some heat. All right, thanks for checking in today. Hope you learned something. Like and subscribe if you want to. And thanks for stopping in.